morning, everybody. It's Marty, the JavaScript party. No Rhett today because my son did not end up bringing his dogs yesterday. That's why I was getting a phone call in the middle of my show, and he's bringing them today. So Rhett missed out today, which is kind of a bummer because it's pretty good for her mentally. I'm waiting for my application to get done starting. It takes it a bit. Here we go. So we just finished up a set of work where I did a refactor because I was trying to deal with this concept of detached elements. And detached elements, I don't know, I believe what they are is I get different things because I interact with ChatGPT. So sometimes it tells me one thing, sometimes it tells me another thing. Uh, but I believe what elements are is an element that exists in the browser in the C++, C sharp, wherever, whatever they write the browser in, but it does not have any references in JavaScript. So for some reason, there was a bit of a disconnect. And um, the thing I don't understand is why they don't just delete all detached elements, but, I'm sure there's a reason. Because it seems like that would be the easiest solution is like, hey, if the browser can determine that it has detached elements, it seems like every second or 5 seconds or something, it should have like its own little garbage collector that deletes them all. And maybe that is what will happen in the future. Um, but in the meantime, it does give us opportunity to sort of deepen our understanding of browsers and in JavaScript and all those sorts of things. And honestly, it is those little sort of tiny nuggets of knowledge that you gather along the way as the years go by that make you valuable. Um, I always remember when I was a young engineer at Boeing. Um, we had this. We worked in like a very high security clearance environment, and we had this floppy disk that was stuck inside of a computer, and the floppy disk had like top secret information in it, so you were not allowed to leave it out in the general area of. It was a secure environment, but it wasn't a super secure environment. You weren't allowed to leave it there if if no one was around. So what would happen is we would have to lock the whole computer in a safe anytime anyone's going to be. So every night we'd have to open it up, and we'd have to open the safe up. And see, the safe had a little slot, so you could push something through in the slot, but we couldn't push the whole computer through. And this floppy disk was stuck inside of the computer, so it was a real pain because we'd have to open the computer, and the safe, and anytime you open the safe, you had to have somebody from security up there watching, and it was a big to do. And this contractor, that he was at the time, he seemed old to me. I think I was 27 years old, and I think he was like 35. So he was a very young man too, but to me he seemed very old. Um, but I remember he was a contractor, and he was with this organization. I think they're called SEI, and it's an organization where they bring in these top-notch contractors that are just absolutely brilliant geniuses, and they will get you over a hump if you're stuck on a hump. And they were real sharp guys that they would bring in from time to time. And the guy's like, "Oh, you just take a paper clip and you just push it in there, it pops right out." He just had been around when I guess floppies used to get stuck because the whole time I was using floppies never got stuck in computers. But there had been a time when I guess they regularly got. So they actually had this little hole, and you could take a clip and you could straighten it out, and you could put it through the little hole, and it would trigger the mechanism that would release the floppy. Saved us literally an hour a day, every workday, of dealing with putting this whole damn computer in the safe and not all of a sudden we could just drop the floppy in there and walk away. So, these little sort of opportunities to learn things sort of present themselves over time. So I'm going to click on this. I'm going to push on the browser, and I'm going to push F12, and that should pop up my dev tools. And then I'm going to close this thing that is what's new, and I'm going to run a, a take a snapshot of my detachments. As you see, I don't have any. And so if I add a visualization and then I close this and then I run it again, take a snapshot. So I still don't have any detachments. Everything is good. Now if I change modes and then I run it again, so we have one empty structural styles node. I'm not too worried about this one because I don't think that it's very heavy. I think it's literally just this. Um, Maybe it's tied to some other stuff, but I don't think so. And it has a node count of one. It just seems to be this empty little fragment. Who knows what that's about, but I don't think it's something I'm concerned about. And then I believe if I go back here, not sure, and then run it again. Yeah. See, now I have 3 rows that are, and I have this mat icon, which again, this one is a bit heavy. It has some stuff in there, but I don't think there's much to it. It would probably be good to to figure out how to get rid of this mat icon um, and all that. And we do have some clues because it is our table row icon, which is weird because if we go back into our table rows, so we did break something, I believe. Well, so yeah, apparently our last refactor actually broke the application because so let's add one to see if we have 4 now. So yeah, so now when you come back in, apparently I did some sort of refactor that broke it. So one point I did want to make, so that was not part of the plan. When this morning when I was thinking through this video, that was not. I did not think that was going to happen. That so it's interesting because yeah. So now if I go here and I go back and I go back and forth, it's not. So that's a bug, a new bug. Let's see if we have any console errors. No, we don't have any console errors. Um, but the thing I did want to make, the thing I did want to point out, so let me just go ahead and make that point, um, is that when we go from the custom view to the non-custom view, to the we don't get detached nodes. And according to ChatGPT, I mean, ChatGPT is awesome. See, now we have like a whole another set. So these things are just growing like crazy. And the thing is ChatGPT is like it speaks with total confidence when it doesn't have any idea what it's talking about. It doesn't. You never hear ChatGPT say, "I never read." Oh, I'm not sure about that. I think it's like, "Oh, this is why that's broken," and then you try it. And it's like, "No, that didn't work." And it's like, "Oh, you're right. That doesn't work." Um, so you can't really count on ChatGPT to be correct, but it is nice. But anyways, apparently this code um, is not working. I wonder if this. So this is in that. I wonder if I call that there, if that'll fix the bug. Um, let's see. I would have expected that to actually happen. Yeah, I don't know why that is weird. I can't wait to dig into that. Okay, yeah, so that didn't fix it either. But anyway, so according to ChatGPT, that problem will go away. It thinks that it might go away if I put a T body around the outside. I did note yesterday that I realized, and I actually put a comment in yesterday's video, um, that this doesn't happen when we go from a div layout. So our custom layout, see in our custom layout, we do this and we don't have that issue. with these app visits. These app visits do get cleaned up. And I was thinking, and actually it probably would be useful. Let's just try this. I was thinking I had divs around the outside of these things. So I'm just going to put a div around this and see if when we leave and come back, um, if we end up with detached divs um, in there. But it does seem like the system. I don't want to blame it on Angular because I don't think I have a feeling Angular is exposed to bug in the browser, not the other way around. I don't think there's a bug in Angular. I think the browser has a bug in it. Go to here, and then F12, take our snapshot. Yeah, see the divs. So it seems like it knows how to delete divs. And then I guess if we really wanted to prove ourselves, we could do this. Now this will definitely break the layout, but if we do have detached layouts in this situation, then we will have sort of proven that, at least in my mind, we will have proven that this is specifically related to tables and the way the browser handles tables. Let's try that. Let's go back to custom. It's interesting that I would have thought that they would be vertically. Um, oh, it's because yeah, it's because we absolutely position these things. So it's pulling the table's probably down here, the row is probably down here, but it's being pushed up there. Um, so now we'll leave the F12. I think I'm going to clean these things up and then hit take snapshot. So we did not end up. So it does not appear to be table related. We'll go back here and we'll take another snapshot. And yeah, so for some strange reason, some combo of that. So it is not specific to tables. So it's something beyond just the tables that's causing that, because I believe we use the exact same mechanism over here. But ChatGPT sort of acted like it knew what it was talking about, but I think it was more of a suggestion that maybe if I put a T body around the outside of this, because apparently like behind the scenes, the browser will put a T body in there if you don't provide one, and so then Angular doesn't have any. This is, I believe, what ChatGPT, if I understood what it was saying. Behind the scenes, the browser will slide one, and when it sees that you're missing one, it's very forgiving, so it'll slide one in there. Well, then Angular doesn't know to delete it because it's unaware of it. So then that leaves the T-body's children. Um, so we'll see if that fixes it. I don't think so. I have a very low confidence level on that because it wasn't broken in the other things. So it seems like it's probably some other. In custom, it wasn't broken. So F12. Let's clear these. I don't know why I want to clear them. I guess they will add up eventually and get too long. So that's all we have. Let's close that down. Let's run this again. So yeah, my son's dogs are here. Yeah, so now we have the two rows showed up. So the T-body did not fix it. All right, so we tried that, and but I do think it's more important to figure out what the bug is. Why is it that you can go from custom to tabular and everything works, but then when you go back from tabular back to custom, it doesn't show anything. So okay, let's just do it again. I always like to sort of do things again. Um, Start like from a position of knowledge. Close that. Go here. Go here. Okay, that's the bug we want to try to figure out. So let's go ahead and go to we see it in custom. So let's just go in custom and then, so I think this is where it's happening. Oh, so that's interesting. So it looks I don't do the app custom layout. Oh, st renders, return st renders. Okay, here's where we return it. So before, when we were just setting it, either blanking it out, when we were doing this but not inside of there, we didn't have this problem, if I remember correctly. So what we were doing is basically this exact same code. We're doing this exact same code, but we're doing it in here. So let me comment that out. Let's see if I can just... I believe it worked when we had it like this. And I think we changed this. Honestly, now that I think about it, I think the only reason we changed this is for the unit tests. So let's go back to here. See if that fixes the issue. Add table. No. I say nay. Okay, so that is not the problem. So let's go ahead and go back to where we were just at. Let's just put a console log here. And we're going to say set renders for custom. Basically, all we're doing is console log. So we already got there. Do I care at this point? I don't think, okay, so I believe what happens is at this point I should get it again. Set renders for custom. Set renders for custom. Now let's go here. So now it's set the renders to 0. And then we got our reset. Let's do this. Let's move this guy here. So I'm guessing it must be empty for something. And I can't even tell you how many times this has happened to me in actual production where this is the first time in this project that this has happened, but where I made changes as part of unit testing. I'm pretty sure this got broken while I was changing the way things worked for unit testing. So either unit testing or PR change that for some reason breaks things, but you would never guess that it was going to break things. So 12. So we have no renders. We'll add one. So we see that we have one. Add two. We see that we have two. Over here, see we have none. Come back, we see we have 2. But for some reason, it chose not to rerun. Okay, um, so we want, and gosh, I feel like we did not have this problem before. And this is a whole new thing. Let's see. Just make sure that it's not actually in there. Maybe, oh, this could be a styling thing. It is possible that it's in there, but we just don't. The style isn't right. Um, it's this guy. Nope, there's nothing in there. So for some reason, ST renders. It does do ST renderers, right? In ST renders, ST render, right? So let's do this. I just want to make sure. I think we have to give this a font so we can see it. I mean a color. Div. And we're going to give this inline style of color and white. Or wheat, since that's the first one that comes up. We are currently in custom, so we're not seeing it. Oh no, there it is. Okay. And what I want is the length of ST render. Okay, so it's 2. That's funny. Okay, so you can't see them because it's underneath there. And these are like dynamically placed. So I think we want to make this position relative and the top. Now, literally all we're doing right now is just debugging. 200px. So it did not move it. What am I doing wrong there? Inspect. Trying to find my hello. So you can click on that. Oh, okay. No, it's fine because now it's position relative, so I guess it's pushing everything down. So I think that works fine. No, it does not work fine. Okay, so, oh, did I not put? I did not put a colon. And I put a colon there where it didn't belong. Man, what is going on? Okay, that's right. Position. Oh, I missed. Got rid of my relative. Semicolon top. For some reason, it's still not showing it. Oh, now it is. Okay. Maybe 200 wasn't enough. 300. Okay. I think that's going to be enough. Now let's add one. 2. Leave. Come back. And it thinks that there's 0 items in there. ST renders, this ST renders is being set in the effect. Gosh, I thought that these problems sort of went away when you use signals. but it's like I need to force a draw. And I know there's a way to do that. I thought that that other CDR did force draw. Okay, I can't even remember now. So let's go to ChatGPT. Okay, so in updating a variable in an Angular TS file, but the template is not updated. The variable is an array. Updating it in an effect function using Angular 20. So I thought that all of those things, like once it's in an effect, that it would make sure that it figured out the bindings between the template and like the issue. Okay, so this is the code. Okay, so let's try that. So I thought we just like kind of so we were thinking that this I think yeah. Okay, so reassign the array or not mutated or call change, and we are reassigning it or detect changes if you're in async callback. So let's try this detect changes, and it looks like down here they kind of show us how to do it specifically. I don't usually have to do this very much, so well, I guess maybe I should show it. So this is let me see if I can get a little bit. This is my effect code. What's happening is probably inside your effect. Is it plain property? Changed it for Angular 22 signal based reactivity mode because it's not a signal or an input bound value. It's just a regular property. That means that your template won't automatically see the change. So it's saying that because this itself isn't a signal, that it's not going to catch it. Okay, so it's saying, like, because I did it this way and I'm assigning it, but if I had, and I feel like that's how it was originally, and that was what was causing the detached nodes. Um, if you want to keep it as a plain property, you can force change detection and pass it manually. So I don't care about that set timeout thing. All right, so let's do this again. Let's see if this fixes it. Because I think that that was why we did the refactor, was because it was creating the detached nodes and we're trying to get away from the detached nodes. You do find yourself in these sort of like there was a movie called Groundhog Day where the guy would start the day over again every single day, and I feel like you end up a lot of times when you're working with Angular, you find yourself in feeling like you're in Groundhog Day, because you're trying to fix something, and then when you fix it, causes some other problem, and then you fix that problem, and then next thing you know, you're back to the old problem again. And it's easy to kind of forget where you've been. If I'm going to do this, I'd rather use the inject instead of this CDR thing. So instead of this doing it inside of the constructor, because like the constructor just gets too big. So CDR change detector ref is equal to inject change detector ref serve that, and then see if this actually mark for check. I like these little things. It took me forever to find out how you do that. But basically all you do is you hold the window key down and then the plus, and then you can put it in there. All right, so supposedly that will do it. We'll see. I'm not sure. So right now we have one. We have 0. We have 1. Click on that. Click on this. Click on this. And we're back to 0. That did not work. So I think, if I remember, I think that was how I had it originally. Like template tied straight. Well, maybe I did. You know what? I think, no, I think what I did was I got, yeah, so, okay, so let's just, you know what? Now that I think about it, I think what I did was um, um, tied it. I mean, it was tied to I changed the routing, but I don't know that I had done this originally with resetting things to 0. Oh no, that's right, because so they'll be there, and then, oh yeah, that screwed everything up because then it was, that's right. I had an internal reason that I had to not do it that way because my code targets renderers to draw, so I needed those renderers to be gone. Um, so that's why I changed that, not for the detached nodes. Okay, so I added this code. It still is not updating. I might have to give okay, so I don't have a change detection strategy. Ah, so I feel like this brings in a whole nother set of problems too. But you know, I would, if I'm gonna learn how to deal, this is where I want to deal with this kind of stuff. So um, that's the whole point. That, well, that's not the whole point, but actually, I was thinking about the whole point of this application. I think about that all the time, and see if it knows where this change detect. Oh, so that comes from core too. Um, And the thing that started this whole thing was this book called The Alchemist. Because when I read The Alchemist, I realized, oh my God, the alchemist situation is just like a coder. It's so hard to explain how you code and all that. So, and how you code is so much deeper than anyone ever tells you. So I was like, okay, I need to record myself coding. Um, but I've made over 1,000 videos now, and it's like it's crazy because the book inspired over 1,000 videos. Who knows what all that book has inspired? It's an amazing book, though. It's an absolutely amazing book. Yeah, so that still didn't work. Yeah, yeah, so I added this. It still didn't work, but it looks like this is another option. Is this ng zone? Oh, I guess I still. Oh, so I still have to do this ng zone, which is part of Angular code core. I've never done this before. And again, this is like the whole point of this kind of thing is, well, yeah, one of my favorite points of this whole thing, effects of this whole thing, is getting to try things like this when it is a very low stress situation. And as a contractor, they sort of already expect you to know how to do stuff like this, but like how do you learn how to do stuff like this? If you don't have, like you're not just going to magically know how to do stuff like this. So, right. This is the point where you're like, oh, thank goodness we have our get, so that we can just get right back to where we were. Let's renders. Ah, I need to do this. This is fun. This is so fun. All right. So when you don't know what you're doing, it can, you kind of have two choices. It can either terrify you or you can have fun. And if you're going to be a coder, you're going to have to learn how to turn that into a fun thing. Still didn't work. Okay, did I miss another step? Template binding. Okay, okay, then there's this. I might have to make a separate signal for each one of these. Um, so I guess I was wrong. This unit test did not break this. All right, so let's try that. Just comment this out. But I'm thinking that I might have to, each one of these might have to have its own signal. Um, oh, so now it doesn't work at all. Okay, so let's go ahead and go all the way back, kind of like a long ways back. Just try that thing that it told us. It shouldn't make a difference because it is a brand new thing. I think I'm going to have to make a signal for each one of them. Which probably, like, had I built this out this with this hiding, not routing kind of thing from the beginning, if I had done that from the beginning, I probably would have given each one of their own signal. But that looks like going to be the actual solution. So it's saying that I should do this. And again, I can't even tell you like how glad I am to be sort of grinding through this sort of pain in the butt kind of stuff in this environment. There's no way that I will be dumbfounded if that worked. I feel like I have to try it just out of like, you know, what? What the hell? What the hell? That makes no sense because this is a different. Oh my gosh. That is. I'm stunned. Stunned, I tell you. Okay, so on my tabular layout, apparently I tried stuff here. Oh, and I made changes in here too. Yeah, so I made changes in here to do stuff, but I think I just want to do this. Man, I know what I'll be thinking about before I fall asleep tonight. It's gonna be what the hell? Why? Especially if it works here too. Well, okay, it's gonna be really weird if it doesn't work here too. Oh, let's go ahead and go to this mode first. I don't understand. I'll never figure this out. I'm sure I'm gonna have to see a ton more things before that'll ever make sense because this is a whole different thing. I wonder. Okay, yeah, I don't even know. Like this is a whole different thing, a whole different array. So why? Yeah, I don't understand why that's working. Um, so let's just do this. P. Let's go to. Well, I got 1 minute. I got 1 minute. I got 1 minute. Clear. Take a snap. Let's reset. We're in the right one. Take a snapshot. Okay, nothing crazy has happened. Crazy. Nothing crazy. And profiles. Take the snapshot. Nothing crazy. Here. Profiles. Take a snapshot. Okay, nothing unexpected. It is a little crazy, but nothing too unexpected. Take a snapshot. And oh, so they're gone. That TR issue got fixed by this whole thing because now we are not getting our TRs or not. We still have this one. No, that's not it. We still have this one guy for some reason decided not to go away. This table row icon, but this change for some reason, and I don't know why. This changing it fixed the whole issue. I don't understand it. It doesn't make anything. But we did learn also that we want to add a T body here. I remember when tables first came out, you did not have to do T bodies. It wasn't even a thing, and then, like suddenly it became a thing, and I don't know why that ever became a thing. Um, I was sort of like would code on sort of autopilot back then, so I probably at that time, like if that happened now, I would definitely have dug into exactly why that was. But that's a perfect example of something that changed. I didn't care too much. I wasn't very focused on learning at that time in my career, so now I have no idea why I would do that, and there's no really good resources. Anything that you even if you look it up and ask about it, you're going to get some very weird answer that has no probably likely has no is not anchored in the truth at all. Anyways, happy coding, everybody. Bye.